ch21. They went that-a-way. Eerily the healer comes coughing out of the front door of the Golden Dragon Tavern. If there never was much of a fire in the belly of this beast before, one blossoms now. A rope in Ilaria's hand leads to the skeleton who shambles out, dragging a pair of smoldering dwarves after. Yes, please. Hello. Hello? You call as you help her up the stairs, trying to put a light spin on the day. You stand outside at the top of the stairs. Smoke billows up past you and into the late afternoon air. Behind you, the town is eerily quiet. A thick cloud has covered the sun. Good folk have made themselves scarce, and the ill sort have too. Unless you're the ill sort. You didn't cause all this fire and destruction, just some of it. But try telling that to the city magistrate. He saw the flames leap from your fingers. Chagall, blue with black soot on his back, nods at the dwarves. He makes a gesture as if squeezing a throat with one hand. You shake your head no. In the wilds, when you moved through the rough country, you had to be wary of witnesses to your passage, especially witnesses who had first tried to kill you. But this is civilization, you think, as a burp of fire and smoke leaps out of the Gold Dragon Tavern's front door and licks at the wooden beams of the story above. Down the alleyway next to the tavern, you see the man in turquoise leathers reach through a hole in the bricks and pull up the bard who had been playing in the middle of the room. Next to him stands the nobleman Edmund, blood on his white and black shirt and around his mouth. Edmund commands you to follow him in a voice of authority somewhat ill-suited to his slight frame. Suddenly, people are running in the streets. The flaming magistrate cannot be far. Ilaria ties a wet cloth over her mouth and heads back down the stairs toward the smoking doorway. You think about the people you put to sleep who are still inside the tavern. You think about the laughing, axe-wielding owner. You clutch your newly acquired spellbook under your arm and contemplate just sitting down to study it. This is civilization. It's only a matter of time before you end up in jail. That's a place you know too well. It's why you took to the wastes in the first place. Getaways, though, that's your specialty. You see yourself lying on the ground outside the Golden Dragon Tavern, wearing a black robe with yellow stars, such as the big city mages wear. Wait, that's the apprentice whose spellbook you stole. So you saved him after all. Ilaria bends down over him and waves to you. Why is the world upside down? It rushes into focus around you, and with it a great pain in your lungs. Cobblestones pass by under Chagall's stride. You see that you are following Edmund and Triton, white and red, and turquoise. Looking back, you see a heavy smoke obscuring the entrance of the Golden Dragon Tavern, where Ilaria leans over a prone form. Great, we are following the sociopath and leaving the humanitarian behind. A pair of guards stands across the street, staring at Ilaria. She emerges from the smoke, dragging a wizard by the leg. That's the proper owner of the spellbook you lifted. One guard raises his bow and knocks an arrow. He aims at Ilaria. He hesitates, not sure what to do. You, Gnarls of Charles, know exactly what to do. Getaways are your specialty. You have just enough strength left to throw a cloud of fog over your retreat. No, you don't. Dang. It would be the perfect time for such a spell. You decide to read the spell right out of your book. You wriggle out of Chagall's grasp and find your feet at the corner of a dark green brick building. You point a bare arm back at the Golden Dragon Tavern. Chagall shakes his head and ducks out of sight with the others. You're left chanting, alone, exposed on the corner. You open your trusty traveling spellbook, the beautiful little ragged paged creation that has seen you through the wilds and back. The archer turns to you at the sound. Now you look like a desperado. You look like the conjurer of the fire, which is not totally inaccurate. You did conjure a fire, but not the fire. Anyway, Gnarls, you tell yourself, concentrate. The archer aims at you, his arrow pulled back, the bow lined up like an extension of his long nose. And you put nose to text. With the utterance of the last word and a swooshing upward gesture, a concealing fog boils up, but not around you. Around Ilaria the healer. The effort consumes the entire book. Hey, I don't need it anymore, you tell yourself, trying to make up for the loss inside you. There's this new bigger book with more room for writing and more spells in it that I have now. As Ilaria is being covered by the fog, she looks up at you. In her belt is the unmistakable bone scroll tube that contains the map. But that's not what strikes you. You've never seen such determination, such sooty clothing. Her holy symbol shines silver on her chest. It looks like a mug of tea on a crescent saucer. If I owe you, madam or sir healer, I hope I have repaid the debt, you call out as she is enveloped by fog, or he. The arrow catches you in the hip. It pins your new spellbook there. It's a flesh wound, you decide, after your fleeing stride pushes it out at the 13th step. Now you have a handle to carry your new book by. You hope that enough of the book survive to be legible. If you think about it too much, it will get in the way of your getaway. One step at a time in escape, you remind yourself. A second arrow lodges in the bricks behind you. You spin around the building corner and come face to face with a blank stone wall. Triton and Chagall feel the wall with open palms. The skeleton hangs limply over Chagall's shoulder. As you approach, it waves a finger at you, a discreet gesture, perhaps to remind you that it is intelligent, conscious. It's easy with a skeleton to just assume they're lifeless. That's more the norm in your experience. Edmund directs the search. Try that spot over there. No, the other hand. Reach for it. Ugh. I know it's here somewhere, he says, sucking at the tips of his bloody fingers, one after another. Who is this person we're following? You feel along the wall, too, though with your eyes closed, using your sensitivity to magic. And you find it. There's a door here, concealed with a spell. The handle is right at head height. You reach into the wall, and your hand passes through the illusory flat stone and grasps hold of a lever within. Getaways are my specialty, you explain. You pull and the door swings inward to a hollow wall pulling you in. It is dark inside with a stairwell leading down. There will be an exit somewhere on the other side, you hope. It would be suboptimal to make all this effort at escape only to escape into some obscure dungeon. Edmund seems confident and steps past you into the darkness. Turquoise Triton, and then Lyre, the bard, follow. She must have been hiding in a shadow as you hadn't noticed her before. Chagall gives you a look that you understand to mean, Don't wriggle away, but I will not carry you. You release the lever. As the secret door is closing, you decide to mark it with the symbol that Ilaria was wearing around her neck. How else will she find you? And if she doesn't find you, and you continue to follow Edmund, you shudder at that possibility.